Welcome to Love Your Life After Divorce, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know to rebuild your life after divorce from the inside out. Let's dive in. Hey, friend, how are you? I hope everything's going well with you. I'm having a great week so far. And today I'm excited to talk to you about how exercise can really help you heal and move forward after divorce. Now, you may have heard me say this before, but I really love to exercise. It's always been just a way for me to feel better, to be honest. I joke around about how it's my natural antidepressant, but that's really not a joke. It's really true. But I grew up playing soccer and continued to play for as long as humanly possible, even though I had multiple knee surgeries. And I've been teaching fitness classes now for about 10 years. And so I've definitely had lots of experience with exercise. And the other day I was in spin class and I was thinking to myself, I think a song came on that I loved listening to during my divorce because it was just really motivating and helped me feel like I could make it through. And I actually ended up making a playlist of songs that were really motivating and just made me, just feel like I was gonna make it. And I'll actually include that in the show notes, in the show description. I'm going to make a list of those songs so that you can look them up. And if you're on Spotify, I may be able to just share the playlist. So I'll check that out as well. But anyway, so the other day when I was in spin class and I heard this song and I was kind of transported back to when I was going through the roughest season of my life where I felt really low, really depressed, really anxious, really worried, just an emotional wreck. And it made me think about how when I push myself physically through exercise, it has so many other benefits to the rest of my life. And so that thought kind of sparked the idea for this podcast episode. So it may be kind of an unlikely subject that you would think that we would talk about when we're talking about how to recover and how to heal and move on after divorce. But I think it's really important, to be honest. And whether or not you like to exercise or not, I really want you to listen and take in what I share during this episode because I know for a fact that this can be really helpful for you. So, first, I just want to go over the 5 different ways that exercise can really boost your recovery and just help you during the divorce and after. So, the very first benefit is pretty clear and obvious. It's just the physical benefits of exercising. Now, I already mentioned how exercise for me really is a natural antidepressant. And it's because when you exercise, when you get your heart rate up, your brain releases endorphins. And these endorphins are chemicals that lower your stress level, improve your mood, and reduce pain. I didn't realize they reduced pain until I did a little bit of research for this episode. And that was a little bit surprising to me, but I guess it makes sense. Those are feel good chemicals. And endorphins are released when you exercise, of course, but also when you are in maybe like sort of a dangerous situation and endorphins kick in so that you're able to act quickly. And so they help you out in times of stress. And exercise is sort of like you're intentionally putting your body under a little bit of stress, but it's a controlled amount of stress and it helps your body, it kind of primes your body to be able to make it through stressful times. So, not only do those feel good chemicals, those endorphins, get released in your brain, but exercising also improves your heart functioning, your circulation, your digestion, your immune system. When you exercise regularly, you sleep better. Exercise helps you have better flexibility, better balance, and better strength. And so there's no argument, there's no way that we can't see that exercise is really good for us physically. And part of that physical benefit is also emotional and mental. And another thing that's really interesting about the way exercise helps us physically is that it's actually a type of meditation. It's meditation in motion. Because when you are exercising, unless you're doing something that is not very strenuous, but definitely for sure, when you do something that's moderately or severely strenuous, then you are only focused on that present moment. You are 100% in the moment because you're focused on breathing. You're focused on doing the exercise. You're focused on making it through that moment in time. You're not sitting there thinking about all the things you're worried or stressed out about. Have you ever exercised for a while and then afterward you just feel a sense of relief or calmness or almost like you've been transported somewhere else for a certain amount of time and now, oh, yeah, you're back to reality? I feel like that a lot after I exercise. So, the second way that exercise really can help you during and after divorce is that it affects how you feel in your body and how you feel about your body. So, what I mean by that is how you feel in your body, you feel stronger. When you exercise regularly, especially if you're lifting weights or if you're doing any kind of cardio that you can build up an endurance for, your body itself is going to start to feel better. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but if you've started lifting weights and then you're able to move up in your weight, you're able to lift more. You're able to maybe, everyday type of things that you do, like taking in boxes from your garage, like Christmas decoration boxes, or even taking out a really heavy bag of trash, or bringing in a bunch of groceries, or moving a ladder, things like that that you can do better when you're stronger. It feels really good to be able to do those things without thinking, oh, I need someone else to help me do this. Like, I love being strong and being able to do those things for myself. And it also helps with balance. I mean, little things like standing up and putting on a pair of pants where you have to balance on one leg to put your pants on. Like, I know that sounds silly, but I like noticing things like that, that I can stand on one foot for quite a while. And as silly as that sounds, as you get older, your balance and your flexibility matter a lot. Think about how many older people you hear about falling. When you fall, you're very likely to break bones, right? And so exercising now and helping you be more balanced and more flexible and stronger will serve you for the rest of your life. So that's how you feel better in your body. So, what about feeling better about your body? Well, a lot of women go through a divorce and sometimes they don't lose weight for the most healthy reasons because a lot of people don't have an appetite when they're depressed, right? So I'm not saying that that's a great way to lose weight, but I see over and over women talk about how much more confident they feel in their bodies when they've lost weight or when they've gotten in, better shape than they were when they were married. And I just want to say here that it is absolutely possible for you to love your body no matter what size it is, no matter how much you weigh. I do not want you to hear me say that you need to lose weight to love your body or to feel good in your body. That is not what I'm saying. But all I am saying is that I do see a lot of women show pictures of themselves, for example, and say, oh, now that I'm divorced and I go to the gym all the time, I feel stronger. I feel better in my body and I feel better about my body. I feel more confident. So that's just a byproduct of exercising and getting in better physical shape, is that a lot of women just feel more confident in their bodies. So the third way that exercise benefits you is that it really teaches you how to get through hard things. When you push yourself physically, it actually translates into other areas of your life. It helps you understand and view yourself as someone who makes it through hard things. You can push yourself mentally and emotionally when you're used to pushing yourself physically. When you push yourself through a hard workout, when you really hit that moment where you wonder, can I really keep going? I feel like stopping, but I'm not going to because I'm in this spin class and the instructor's telling me just to go, go, go. And so you push yourself a little, and afterward, you feel so good about yourself. You feel proud of yourself. You feel stronger and more capable. So knowing that you can do hard things physically, like I said, it bleeds into other areas of your life because it teaches you that pain is temporary. You are not going to be in a really difficult, tight spot forever. And just like you can push yourself through a hard workout, you can also kind of mentally push yourself through a hard situation at work or through a hard parenting moment. You know it's temporary and you get more resilient the more you push yourself and make it through and accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. The fourth way that exercise can help is that you can pair exercise with social time. If you go to group fitness classes, you are bound to make a lot of friends. As I mentioned, I have been teaching fitness classes for about 10 years, and I have so many friends from doing these classes. And just the other day, I got the nicest Christmas card from one of my regulars, an older man who comes to my spin class religiously. And he gave me a nice card and a Target gift card and just told me how thankful he is that I consistently help him condition his body and stay healthy at his age. He said, "Your class is important for my health." And that just made me feel so good. And so that's just one quick example of how you really can connect to people when you go to fitness classes. And I just want to say, if you've never tried a group fitness class and it does appeal to you, just get clear on why you haven't gone yet. I know a lot of people are afraid to go to something like that because they think that they'll be the most out of shape person in the room or they won't know what they're doing. And let me tell you, everybody has to go to a class for the first time sometime, right? Everybody starts out as a beginner. And everyone else in the class is just wanting a good workout, just the same way you are. It's not a competition. I have found that people are very kind and supportive. I've been a part of workout classes where I have watched people lose 50, 75 pounds because they just keep coming consistently. And it's just so cool to see everyone cheer them on. And, or, like someone has a baby and they're trying to get back in shape, and we're all there for them. And we are so glad that they're still prioritizing their health. And so it really can help you make friends if you decide to go to group fitness classes. Or if you don't want to go to classes, you can also just get one of your current friends to be a workout partner for you. You guys can either go to the regular gym, lift weights, or do cardio machines together, or you can walk outside. You can pair walking and talking together, and then you're getting two really good needs met. You're getting that social time, that connection with people in your life who are important to you, who can support you, who you can support, and then you're also getting your exercise in. Number 5 is exercise helps you commit to a routine, and it also gives you something to do with your free time. A lot of women feel lost when they get a divorce, and there are days on end that they don't have their kids. They may be alone in their own homes and they don't know what to do with themselves. I did a whole episode about this and I gave you so many great ideas of ways you can spend your free time. But committing to an exercise routine is one of those things that you can do. It just gives you something positive to focus on. And if you decide to either set up a day and time that's recurring, that you meet and exercise with a friend, or whether you decide to go to group fitness classes, it's great to have a day and time that you are committing to exercise. Having a routine after divorce can give you some stability. It can help you feel like your life is not as out of control as you may have felt that it has been during this whole divorce process, because so many things are changing. And so, if you can develop routines based around things you enjoy doing and things that are good for you, then that can just really improve your life. And then the last thing I want to share about how exercise can help you make it through your divorce is that it helps you reframe yourself or reinvent yourself, especially if you have never been a regular exerciser, but you've always wanted to. After divorce is the perfect time to ask yourself, who do you really want to be? That is, like I've said before on here, that is my favorite part of helping divorced women is to help them dream about who their ideal self is. Who do they really want to be? I think we all have ideas about who we wish we could be, but we just don't believe in ourselves. We don't think we're capable of it, or we don't think we're the kind of person who can do that type of thing or can have that type of thing. And that's just not true. There are very few things that you literally just can never have or can never do. But I really do think that most things that you want, you can have. I really do believe that. And exercising and being a person who routinely exercises is one of those things. It's a skill you can develop. It's not like you're born into the world as either a person who exercises or a person who doesn't. Exercising regularly is just a choice. It's just a way that you decide to spend your time. It's a thing that you prioritize. And there are so many different types of exercising. I think everybody can find something that they enjoy. Maybe you love yoga or Pilates or bar classes, something that's more low intensity, water aerobics. And there's also aqua cycling. Have you guys ever heard of that? They have that at my gym. I've never tried it, but they put the bikes in the water and you're like riding a bike underwater. So it helps with the tension, I guess, is the water. You can also swim if you like to be in water. You can use a machine like a stair climber or an elliptical or the treadmill, or you can run outside, walk outside. If you like being outside, you can be in nature. That's another thing I didn't even mention, but I'm just now realizing it. You can also pair exercise with being outside, which actually research shows that being in nature and being in a forest in particular can help you feel more calm. It can help ADHD symptoms. It can help depression and anxiety. So that's another added benefit of exercising outside. I mean, there are so many different types of exercise classes. There's kickboxing, aerobics, dance classes, multiple types of dance classes you can find: hip hop, line dancing, Zumba, Tai Chi, HIIT classes, weightlifting classes. So if there's something that you have always wanted to try, I guarantee you it's probably out there. And so here are some tips for starting or changing your exercise routine. If you have never exercised much at all, or if you have any concerns about your health, it's a really good idea to get a thorough checkup at the doctor before you start something new. You don't want to just jump into something if you have an underlying condition that you don't know about. So, my first recommendation is, especially if you haven't done any exercising in a while, or if you have any health issues, just get thoroughly checked out by a doctor. Tip number 2 is to start easy, short workouts that aren't as intense. You can always build up. It doesn't matter if you start really small. Don't think about what you could do when you were in the best shape of your life. This is a mistake I see a lot of people make. They think, well, I mean, I used to play basketball in high school and we ran all the time, so I can run, even though it's 10 years later and I've hardly run at all since then. So just be realistic about where you are now. So many people jump in with just both feet and they do too much too soon. And so they either get injured or they're so sore after a workout that they don't want to go back to the gym. They don't want to keep going because it feels miserable. So don't be afraid to start small. Tip number 3 is to just enjoy exercise. Choose exercise that you enjoy. Like I mentioned, I feel like there's something for everyone. So don't do a specific workout class or type of workout just because you think you should, or it's what your cousin did to lose weight. If you try to force yourself to do an exercise you don't really enjoy, you are not going to stick with it. The more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to stick with it. And it will also feel like self-care. It is self-care. Some people think of it as a chore or just one more thing they should do for themselves. But if you can find an exercise you enjoy, then you will never want to miss. You will have to do it. That's how I feel about it. If I miss 2 days in a row, that's about the most I can handle. Like I normally take one day off. And if I miss 2 days in a row of exercising, I don't feel as good. I can tell I start to feel down and blah and just unhappy. And then the last tip I have for you is to schedule your exercise time. Plan a time and follow through. And again, in this case, it really helps to have a partner who can hold you accountable or exercise with you, or to attend a fitness class that happens at the same day and time every week. So you have it on your schedule and you just know you're going to do it. So I hope that this episode has inspired you to try to exercise if you don't already, because it really is such a natural way to feel better physically, emotionally, and mentally. It will impact your life in such a positive way in the long term. People who exercise live longer, healthier lives, and they feel better in their bodies. And so I just encourage you this week, think about what exercise you want to try. Even brainstorm, come up with an idea. If you can't get to your exercise this week, plan it for next week. And as usual, if you have any questions or if you want to chat with me, schedule a free Zoom call. I'll put a link in the show notes. You can always check out my website, angiewilsoncoaching.com. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. And in the meantime, I just encourage you to continue building a life that you love living after divorce. If you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of how to move forward after your divorce, I've created a free guide just for you. It's called the 5 Stages of Divorce Recovery, and it lays out the roadmap to help you heal, rebuild, and love your life after divorce. This guide is packed with insights and actionable steps that will take you from grieving to embracing your future with confidence. Click the link in this podcast description, and the free guide will be delivered straight to your inbox.